series of heavier punches. Now, there's an example why we at ringside have an extra shot that judges don't have. As a judge, I probably would have scored that round for Billy Costello, but after seeing the replay, I got to give it to Juan Laporte, which is an interesting testimony too in scoring.
That's a close round. I give it to Laporte also. I think right now we've got Juan Laporte up by a couple of points.
A couple of points, yeah. This is round number 7. Juan Laporte in the red trunks with his back to you. That's Billy Costello, the former WBC junior welterweight champion from 1984 to 1986. Won his title from Bruce Curry. Defended it against Ronnie Shields, Saul Mamby, and Leroy Haley. And Lonnie Smith then finally took it away from him in August of '85, and he went on to fight several more times. And the only loss was against Alexis Aguelo, and at that time it was an aging Alexis Aguelo.
And when you look at Juan Laporte's record, at age 21, Colonel, he fought the late great Salvador Sanchez from Mexico and took him 15 rounds, the rout, the WBC featherweight title bout, which of course Laporte lost. But that tells you what kind of ability Juan Laporte has had.
Now, if you don't remember Salvador Sanchez, people in their 40s and 50s would remember Salvador Sanchez. He was the young Mexican fighter who was every bit the fighter that, perhaps Ricardo Lopez, Rosendo Alvarez,
Ruben Olivares,
all of those guys, any one of them. He was on his way to just superstardom. Julio Cesar Chavez, and he was killed in a motoring accident down in Mexico in his career. But there was some tremendous fights he was involved with. Another one with Azuma Nelson, and again, as John pointed out, Juan Laporte went the distance with him in 15 rounds. And we went the distance with Salvador Sanchez, and they were both very early 20s. It was tremendous. Look at this. These guys want to fight.
Wonder whose legs are going to
serve
them best.
Billy's legs look like you get 2 tires around the knees right now, but you know, look how heavy his legs look at the thigh and in the knees.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, they have really expended a lot of energy. You know, if nobody had told us that this was a Legends fight and we didn't know the age of these guys, we'd say, well, the guy in the blue looks like he's a little bit overweight, not really crisp, but these guys are putting on a competitive fight here through 7 rounds.
They are giving their all. At this point in their career, it's not what it would have been, as we hear a few boos coming down from the stands.
Well, they want to see a knockout,
Well,
John.
of course they do. And we saw some young fighters before this fighting a very terrific pace over 10 rounds. And now when they watch this, it looks like it's in slow motion by comparison.
And there's not the power behind. Look at these guys battle for the power. How about that? That's why they're legends, because they still possess the immeasurable quality that all great champions have and had when they were the champs, and that's tremendous heart. Both of these guys showing that, because they have to be exhausted through 7.
Once again, going to Juan Laporte's corner, we mentioned he's fought a who's who in boxing history, really has, fighting against Salvador Sanchez when he was 21, beat Mario Miranda for the title in 1982, fought Johnny De La Rosa, Wilfredo Gomez, that went 12 rounds, he lost the decision. We're going to go to a little replay from that last round. Billy Costello is going to load up with the right hand, which is his favorite punch, right down the middle. Juan Laporte says, you're going to have to give me more than that, Billy.
Well, we talked about Laporte hanging his left hand, and it's open for the right hand, and he's been open for the right hand. But as I looked at Billy in the corner, he looked like an exhausted guy with 3 rounds to go. They're going to have to get a second win, both of them. Billy stays right down in his stool. Juan Laporte. By the way, I gave that last round to Costello, and I've got it 67-66, 1 point separating the 2 former terrific champions. Remember, they were champions in different weight divisions. Laporte was a featherweight champ at 126. Costello was a 140-pound champ when they were in their prime, and here they are fighting each other. And again, it's the same situation. Costello a whole lot heavier than Juan Laporte, but Laporte has shown punching power. Neither guy has been down, while Costello was visibly shaken way back in the first round. His legs have looked very heavy, but he's had good rounds, 4 and 5. Both of us thought that perhaps Laporte came back in 6th and the 7th round. I thought Billy just out-hustled Juan Laporte in that round. We're in round number 8.
But during the 90s, Juan Laporte actually had 3 title shots. Zuma Nelson lost a 12-round decision. the WBC crown. Charles Murray 3 years later at 140 pounds, which was of course Costello's natural weight. Charles Murray won a 12-round decision against Laporte. And then in 1994 he tried to come back against Zach Padilla. Lost it, actually was stopped in the 10th round of the WBO title fight. And then he was off for 4 years, was Juan Laporte, until he came back last spring against Teddy Reed and lost an 8-round decision to a much younger fighter.
Well, the Legends has given these former champs the opportunity to more than make a payday, but to test their competitive spirit into their 40s. And when we asked them about the safety aspect of it, both of the fellas, in fact, all 6 of the guys that are fighting in the Legends card tonight said about the same thing. Look, if you can pass the physical, you're in shape, and you keep yourself in shape. Look at him, up on his toes.
Look at that. That's pretty amazing for a guy 39 years old in a lower weight. You can see that Juan Laporte did a lot of road work getting ready for this fight. There's no way you could be moving around at 39 after having taken some of the heavy shots he's had from Billy Costello, continue to have that kind of lateral movement. Now the question is it effective in any sense? Because he's not really scoring points. What he's doing, though, he's keeping Billy Costello on his P's and Q's where Billy can't set down on his punches, Colonel.
Well, he's keeping Billy moving, and Billy is more or less dragging the hind foot now. His legs are really almost like jelly in his knees. This is a low blow, and in spite of the fact that referee Bruce Foster didn't say anything about it, and it was unintentional, it still hurts.
You know what? There's been a lot of low blows in this fight, and I think both fighters are doing it intentionally, even though it may not look like that. They know the quickest way to slow a guy down is to hit him low, particularly when he's older.
Well, Laporte tried to load up the right hand, and Billy caught him with a short right hand inside. But you know, Billy really hasn't been able to shift Laporte at all with his power that he thought his extra weight would do it. I'll tell you one thing, John, I mentioned a couple of times early going, I would love to see this Legend thing go to 2 minutes, because I think you'd really see these guys all out for 2 minutes. The bell ends the 8th round.